So I'm currently on holiday at the moment. It is approximately 174,000 degrees outside. Luckily, like our little balcony area is in the shade, so that's nice. My hair straightener's broke, so that's great. We are not going to talk about the monstrosity of what's going on here. But what I thought today I'd do, since I'm not gonna lie, I need to be inside, I need to be somewhere cool, I need to put my pajamas on, is I thought I'd do a somewhat kind of like a tag. So Treacle Tatts did a challenge, I'm gonna call it, where what she did is she covered up all of her tattoos and she tried to draw them from memory. Now I know this sounds slightly odd because you think, well, obviously you chose your designs and you okayed your designs and you sat through hours of pain to get your design. There are certain elements that you kind of forget about once they've been on you forever, because the way I describe it is once I've got one, give it a couple of months and it kind of just feels like it's been on me forever. It almost feels like a mole when you look at it, like not in a horrible way, but you kind of just get used to seeing it there. It's just always there, and you don't really look at it so much in detail until you get your new one. So yeah, as I said, Treacle Tatts did this first. She's my favorite like tattoo related YouTuber, so I will leave her video down in the description. But basically I'm going to have a go at doing it because I thought her video was so funny. I have recently got another one on my leg, which is healing at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, most of mine are like under my t-shirt, and the rest of them are like on my legs. I'm going to go have a shower. I'm going to put my pyjamas on, I'm going to put a towel over my legs so I can't see my leg ones, and I'm going to try really hard not to look at them while I'm having a shower. I've made like extra effort this last few days not to start staring or questioning it. So yeah, I'm going to do that. What I think I'm going to do is film all of my drawings first and then insert little kind of reaction clips as such. I'm gonna go get to it now, so I will see you on a slightly precarious setup since someone forgot to bring their tripod on holiday with them. So I will see you very soon. So I've rested my camera on some pillows. So this is the hi this is the book I bought from Asda. It's just called A Large Free Writer. So you guys know I love my stationery, so I thought I'd just get a plain black one because then I can decorate it. Now, is this a cover or... Okay, let's just rip this off. I'm glad I prepared for this. Okay, so I've just got a towel over my legs, but I tried really hard for the last like day to try and not look at my like tattoos. When I watched Treacle Tatts doing this, I was quite surprised at how kind of little details that you forget. So I also bought these pens, Asda haul. I think these pens cost like £1.50 or something, and this book cost £2. So good. It is plain. I'm just gonna go for this first one. I will show you like a better shot because I assume this isn't going to look correct from that angle. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my first tattoo I ever got, which is a lizard. It's not the best tattoo in the world. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's got like, it's kind of in a curve. Now the thing is, I should be good at drawing this one because I like designed it myself, so I should like really remember what it looks like. It's something like that. Oh, and it has an eye like there. It's like in the black. And it kind of curves around like this, I'm pretty sure. Now if I had done, like, got this, I got this literally, I think it was on my 18th birthday. If I had got this, like, nowadays, I wouldn't have got 5 legs. What am I chatting about? I wouldn't have got 4 legs because I have a bearded dragon and he's only got 3 legs. So I would have made this look more like a bearded dragon and given it 3 legs, but I don't really know what his back legs look like. Like this. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So that is my lizard tattoo. So what I'm going to try and do is give you like a side-by-side photo of this compared to my actual one. Once I've done all these drawings, I'll then film like a reaction to what it actually looks like compared to what I've drawn. So this is going to be like a non-chronological video. Okay, so I didn't do too bad. The curl's a little bit too far out. It should probably be close to the leg. His legs are a bit skinny. You can't even see the eye on my lizard anymore. So I think this is a pretty good one. I think that was a good start. It needs to have a bit fatter hands, but I'm quite proud of that. So, my next one, I think I'm going to do, what did I get next? I've got a bat on my ankle, but it's not very interesting. I think I'm going to do like the bat on my foot. So, it's quite like a hard one because obviously like my foot is an angle. Kind of looks like it's got a face like this. Now I had this is a touch up actually because I had this done originally by a different artist, but she like died halfway through. I think the nose looks like that sort of, and it's got quite like big eyes. I'm sure there's like little dots in the corner of the eyes. I don't know if it has a mouth or not. I'll give it a smile. It does definitely not have a smile. And then it has, now these are the reason I got colours, because they're not all black. I'm sure it has like a purple bit here. See if I can zoom in on my precarious pillow tripod. And it's sort of like that, kind of, I think. And then it's got like a tummy. And I know that it comes down to a point because like this is the bottom of my foot, and this bit's just kind of maybe sort of stripy, kind of like that. Got like ears, and then it has its wings going out. Obviously like this is wrapped on my foot, so it's going to look like slightly different. And I think it had like that many bumps. Now the bit up here, it's got the bones in it. Now, I'm pretty sure when I look at mine, mine's not anatomically correct, because because basically bats are meant to have like thumbs here, but I don't think mine has that. And then it's meant to have 4 bones here. But fun fact, bats' closest like animal that's closest to a bat is humans, because they basically have the same thing as us. They're mammals. They give birth to like mammally mammals that are alive, not in eggs, and they have legs, obviously, and feet, and then their hands, like basically their wings are effectively like 2 hands, just like hello, because they've got their thumbs up here, and then they have fingers basically, but then they've got wings. Okay, so this bit is gold. I'm pretty sure it's a nice like gold to purple thing going on. And then it has lines like this, and then I'm sure she put like ones like that, because I remember they really hurt. I remember distinctly I felt like there was too many lines because it hurt. So I'm gonna go with that being my foot bat. I'm really not sure on his face. It's really annoying me. Okay, so this is how the bat turned out, and actually I'm gonna whip my bat out here. Right, so it's meant to have pink in its ears, which I completely messed up. Let's see, its eyes are alright, its nose are alright, and I actually got its mouth sort of right. I've made it a bit fatter than it should have been. It's a bit too long. As for the colours, it should have been yellow here. Like all this bit yellow and the ends purple. I got the bones right, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Do you know what? It's probably because I look at my foot every single day, so I think that's all right. So I think I'm quite proud of that one. So, and then like across from that bat, I've got some other like little bats. And I should remember what they look like because they're on the front of my foot. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is kind of just a blob. But they're just like literal flying bats. Don't think I can really go too wrong with those. I know that one's like that, and then one's more, its wings are more like this. Yeah, like that. Something like that. And then another one sort of further down. Yeah, it's kind of more like, it's quite a flat one, I'm pretty sure. Like that, maybe? We'll go for that. I quite like those. And then I have, like, on the inside of my ankle, it says Trick or Treat, which is kind of like in wavy writing. I mean, I had that done, like, this year, so I should probably remember what it looks like. It's sort of like wavy, and it's all in capitals, I believe. I think it's in capitals. Is it? Yeah, it must be in capitals. Oh god, that C looks a bit bad. Trick. And then it has the or tiny. Yeah, it must be in capitals. Trick or treat. Actually, it doesn't say trick or treat. It says trick or treat yourself. Treat. Because that is my life motto. I think this one is probably the best one I've done. Trick or treat. And then it says yourself. Okay. And then the colours for that one. I think they're orange. Orange and green. I don't know which colour it goes. I think it's green. I think it's orange at the top. Like it's orange up here. I think. And it like fades down to the green at the bottom. Because I had a bit of trouble healing this one. Because I thought maybe I was allergic to the green. Just because up until I got this, I'd never had green before. Sort of like this. Obviously it blends a bit nicer. I think it's kind of cheating when it's text because doesn't that look like the Irish flag? Is that the Irish flag? Oh god, I don't know. Maybe it's not orange on the top. Oh, who knows. Right, this is what I drew. Basically the middle bat's meant to be at the bottom. The other bats are alright, they're not too different. And then going on to the Trick or Treat Yourself, it's alright. It looks somewhat similar. It's just for some reason I decided, I think, to do the Irish flag. And it's green on the top rather than orange on the top. But I think I was close enough. Okay. So next up, I'll go over to my other leg. This is not in chronological order now. I've given up chronological order. I've got my cat ghost. And it's kind of like... It's floating this way, definitely. It's got circle eyes. And then I'm sure I asked for like a triangle nose, but it doesn't have like a... I think it's just one... It's got like an arm sticking out. That looks like an owl, doesn't it? Does it go out much? I think it just looks like like that. It's got another arm out here, I think. And it's holding in its hand circular, a very good circle. It's a trick or treat, like a little trick or treat bowl. And I know that it's got two triangle eyes and a smiley face, and there's lines down it. And then his tail sticks out sort of like this. And he's got like lines. And he's got whiskers. Something like that. And just for the sake of science, I shall colour this in orange. Oh, I don't think that one's too bad. I think that's right, because I look at him quite a lot. Although he may be slightly wider. It may be the angle of the camera, but he's a bit wider. Apparently I missed a page. Apparently I missed 2 pages. Okay, so my cat ghost. Here's how he looks. Okay, so my real one, I've got him flying Do you know what? I've got him flying the right way. He's got both his arms in the right place. He's got the right amount of whiskers. His eyes are pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. The only difference is, oh, I forgot to add the little nose on the basket, on the trick-or-treating basket. And the basket looks a little bit like, it looks a bit circular. It kind of needs that black part at the top. There's like lots of kind of grey tones. I've just drawn him more as a white ghost. But again, I think I did okay. So my next one, I'm going to go for my old... So I have a cat bat on the side of my thigh. I got it a really long time ago now. And I have had things added and changed to it. So it's obviously a cat. Now, fun fact, I actually drew this one myself as well. He's got a fang, I know that. Oh my goodness, what is that? Starting again. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Wait, which way is he facing? He must be facing this way. Cat. He's got green eyes. And his fang, like that. You wouldn't believe that I drew it myself on my leg, would you? I'll colour in his eyes green. I can't remember what his eyes look like, if they look like cat eyes or if they're like dots. Like, hopefully, I think I've got cat eyes. Like that. That looks a bit evil. And then he's kind of sat... This looks like a dog more than a cat. He's sat on pumpkins. Kind of looks like this. He's got his paws. And I'm sure his leg comes out like that. Does he? And he has a bit of a leg kind of on that side. And his tail goes up. Now he doesn't have any whiskers, but I really want him to. This is a black cat, so I'm just going to give him like some shading. The shading on my cat's a little bit patchy, to be honest. That'll give you the cat. Oh, and he's got his wings as well. So his wings are quite like magnificent. And they're very like this. I think they've got lines on them. Okay. Good job. I'm also a few pina coladas in, so like we can blame it on that. So we sat on piles of pumpkins. So I think I've got 12 pumpkins altogether. I think. So he's probably sat on like 3 at the top. And they're like proper jack-o'-lanterns, so they've got faces, but I'll add those in a minute. Is it 3 layers of pumpkins? I don't know why I'm asking you, like you're going to help me through the camera. Yeah, it must be 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That must be right. And then the one on my inner thigh is upside down because he's my derpkin. So his eyes are like that. And he's smiling at me upside down. So I know that one. Now the idea for this, when I designed it, but it didn't really come across too great, was that the ones on the bottom were meant to look like they were in pain. So I'm going to make them look kind of angry. Well, not in pain, but they were like not too happy about the fact that they were like at the bottom. Because that's like obviously where all the heaviness is. And then the ones kind of on the sides, they were like not too fussed. There was a couple in there as well. Like there's one that looks like Jack Skellington almost. I'm sure there was some more like classic ones. You know, when I was drawing this, I could think of a lot more like pumpkin faces. Yeah, so these ones in the middle were like, they were alright. And then the ones at the top, they were having a great time because they were just at the top. So I'm going to give them kind of smiles. They weren't really sure what was going on. Okay, so those are my pumpkins. And a few of them have little stalks. And I know that because every time I look down at my leg, I notice that it's not like finished because, you know, the stalks aren't coloured in. So these are all orange. Now the orange on here is kind of patchy again. Now I believe this is sort of to do with my first artist's sort of style. I don't know if I said this already, but my first artist died kind of halfway through me getting a lot of my tattoos. Well, not like while I was on the table, but in that kind of time period. So a lot of them aren't fully finished, and I don't know, I quite like them sort of unfinished. Now it's got a moon behind it, which is sort of like dotted. Like this. So almost, there's some dot work in this piece, you see. And then the moon has like various things. Now, a fun story about this is it's a picture that I saw one similar to this. It's sort of the same concept, like a bat cat sat. It was on a pile of skulls, and I really liked it, but I thought, don't get me wrong, skulls are cool, and it does have blue in it because it kind of looks a bit like a bruise. I do like skulls, but it just looked not quite like to my style, and I was sat there thinking, if this was a cat sat on a pile of pumpkins, it would be me. So I decided to draw kind of that concept on the back of a envelope that had been torn open and thrown to the side. And then yeah, I decided I really liked the concept and the drawing, and I got it done. Now these are like some weird swirls, which there's a bit of shading going on, but they've got lots of like dot work on them as well, sort of like this. If I was to sit down with the correct kind of utensils, with some correct pencils and things, I feel like I could maybe make this look a little bit better. And my cat doesn't have any whiskers, but I would like it to have whiskers. That's one of the things I'd like to, not adapt, but if I was to, you know, redo it or add to it, because it does look a little bit faded. I think that's it. So that is the one on my thigh. Right, so we're not even going to talk about that. Now I'm just going to look at my leg. Now that I've uncovered my leg, I can see him a bit better. There is my little derpkin that I was talking about. He's facing me, because your tattoos are meant to sort of face the person looking at them. But I wanted one to look at me, so that's my derpkin, which I think I did pretty well. And then all the different pumpkin faces. So I got my derpkin right. I'd say the ones at the bottom all kind of look angry. The only thing is I've put all of the pumpkins facing forward rather than sideways, which is an issue. I definitely did more sort of square eyes. I did a lot of circle eyes in my drawing, but on my actual tattoo they've got more square eyes. Yeah, I'm not mad at those pumpkins. They look pretty sort of alright. The cat, I don't know what I was doing with that foot. Both of his legs are kind of tucked sort of behind him, and the shading's very dark. And his tail doesn't go up. Like, his tail doesn't go up like this. It goes to the side a bit more. So that it doesn't overlap his wings at all. The wings are a bit more decorative, the ones that are on my actual tattoo. So, yeah. But I think I got the moon pretty spot on. And you can kind of see what I was doing with those clouds. You can't see both of his eyes. I've kind of done his face in the wrong position. I know it was this sort of shape, but it should have had one big eye sort of there, and the other one's kind of on the side because he's looking more outwards. But yeah, he does have green eyes, so I got that bit right. Okay, so the other one on my thigh, I literally got done the other day, so I have no excuses for this one. But it's my old cat Fred. He's got kind of ripped up ears. This one's in more like neo-traditional. Quite a round face. And then he's got his leather jacket on. And it's all in like a cameo frame, so it's sort of in a circle like this. So he's got his leather jacket. Now, other than the one I did previously of the bat cat, and my first lizard, and also another bat I have on my side of my ankle, which I haven't bothered doing because it's a bit boring. They're all ones I drew myself, whereas the rest are kind of ones which my artist at the moment drew for me. So wearing a shirt, because I added the shirt in at the end. Like, when she showed me the design, I was like, yeah, that's great. And she was just about to put it on me, on my leg. And I was like, oh, can I have a t-shirt? Because I just felt like it needed something else. It's kind of got like, this jacket looks like that. There's a circle there and a circle there. Circle there and a circle there. And this one is a pumpkin. I kind of don't know how she fitted it in. It's like a zigzaggy pumpkin, like a triangle eyes pumpkin. And here is like a fish skeleton. And then there's loads of like nice shading in here, which I'm not going to be able to do with a pen. And this bit's black because my cat's black. And then he's got his nose, kind of looks like that. And there's like a bit of white there. And his eyes. What does his eyes look like? They look like that, I guess. With like circles, I think she puts in them. And then one of his eyes, I think it's his right eye, has like a dot in it like that. Because that was like a scar that he had. And I think this eye, he had like a little, it almost reminds me of a Harry Potter scar like that. And then kind of goes round. So like this. Dot, 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 dot. Do they have dots? I think, no. And then he has his whiskers. He's got quite like shady right around there. He's got lines up in his ears. Sort of like that. And then there's a bit of shading, like, I'm going to do it with a grey just because I can't get any depth with the same colour. There's sort of shading like round here, sort of, I think. Like that. I'll put some sort of shading in his face because after all he is a black cat. He does look sort of, not patchy, he's still healing, but it's kind of like different, like some of the blacks are a bit darker in his face. Just that's what I asked for because his fur was very patchy. And then at the bottom, like I don't actually remember, okay, I'm going to start at the top actually. It has like some swirls like this, I think. And it's got like autumn leaves. It definitely has something like that at the top. Maybe with an autumn leaf or something like that. And another swirl. And they're kind of like quite thick and they've got lines down them. Maybe there's another leaf there or something. Something like that. And then in the gaps, I've got like spider web. Just as an added spook. Right there. Yeah. Why am I having such difficult drawing spider webs right now? When I got these spider webs, I could really feel them going in. Sort of like that. And then at the bottom, it has a banner. Sort of. Kind of like that. And I think the banner only comes off one side. God, that's not a very good banner. What am I doing? Banner goes like, sort of like that. Sort of like that. I'm sure it's got like a double banner somehow. And it says Mr. Fluffy. And there's a little dot either side. Right, add some colour in. It has green. Oh, what am I doing? It's got orange like that. Maybe it does have a banner on the other side. That looks a bit, I don't know, I don't think it does. And then it's got green. It's got green eyes. And then there's green sort of in the banner, sort of here. Like that. It's like just above and below the orange. And then orange. These are orange. The jacket is black. I think that's, oh. This banner here is like autumn colours, so it's got like orange in it. Literally, she asked what colour I wanted it, and I said autumn. Like, not even a colour. And it's got like some red in it as well. God, that red looks a lot like orange. There you go, that's my review of Asda's colouring pens, as the colours all look the same. A bit more red. There you go. That is my lovely cat. Okay, to my cat, Mr. Fluffy, this is what I ended up with. Absolute masterpiece, I know. And the actual tattoo is here. Oh, look at my leg where I've had it covered up. I had a towel on. He's still healing, as you can see. He looks a bit shiny. My hair's like just starting to grow through, which is great. Here's my newest addition to my leg. As for the actual picture I drew, I got the scar over the right eye. The dot is in the right place. Oh no, the dot's in the wrong place, but close enough. I feel like his mouth is a bit over exaggerated on my drawing. But did I? Yes, I got the pins on the right side, so that's something. And the dead fish pin is lower and the pumpkin pin is higher, so I'm quite pleased with that, and I got those kind of looking right. The shading's sort of correct. Now, this border, I'm not really sure what's going on. The border definitely doesn't go down this far, and I also have these like little flower things on the sides at the end of the borders, which I just completely forgot about those. But I don't think the border's that bad, she says. The actual, I was right. I was so right. It doesn't have anything on this side. It does kind of go off more like that, so it sort of finishes it off, so it doesn't look so blunt. But it kind of waves off down here, so I'm quite pleased with that. I got the green and the orange round. To be honest, I was hoping I did alright on this one because it's my most recent one. So, what other ones do I have? Oh yeah, I've got my laughing Halloween cat on my hip. God, I can't even think of what he looks like. He's like based on an old like Bastille picture, so I probably should know. He's obviously got cat ears. I think he may be like furry. I know he's got quite like, maybe not that extreme, like that. Oh my god, got quite his eyes. I'm gonna assume that he's got kind of cat eyes like that. Now I remember his teeth kind of look like this, and then he's got little small teeth. So his mouth must be like that, kind of. Yeah, it is, and then it's got like his skin, sort of like that. Oh my god, that's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. I'm going to add some colour in. He's got orange here, because I wanted him to be kind of black and orange. Does he have a tongue? I don't think he has a tongue. I think his mouth may be red inside. Like that. I know his eyes are green because I specifically asked for his eyes to be green. This one I find out his eyes aren't green. And he's black, so he's got a nose. Oh yeah, his nose looks like that. So he's black. Oh my god, the most terrifying thing ever. It looks like a 4-year-old's drawn it. Looks like a 4-year-old has tried to draw their nightmare. That's how I describe this. And his nose, what is this? Is pink. I really like his nose because whenever I look at it, I think she's done it really well. That is horrendous. Oh, and the stars around it. Now, when I was thinking of doing this video, I was like trying to remember what the stars around my cat looked like, and I was going to look and I was like, no, because that'll spoil the video. But I seem to remember that there's 5 stars and they're kind of drawn like this. So I have no idea whereabouts they are. They're just kind of randomly dotted around. And it wasn't something I particularly like wanted, if that makes sense. She was just like, oh, do you want some stars around the outside? And I was like, sure, go for it. But actually I think it really finished it off. And the stars are like random colours. So I think there's a pink one, an orange one. There may be a purple one. I'll throw in a purple one just in case. I'm pretty sure there's a green one. Actually, come to think of it, I must have had green ink before, because I got this as the first one I had done by my current artist. And I then got my Trick or Treat Yourself one by her as well. So I must have had them before. I must have had green before. Yeah, I think it looks something like that. Okay, this monstrosity. Okay, so let me look at my actual one. Oh my goodness. So apparently I don't look at this one very often. I guess it's because this one is always like, I can't really see my hip that easily. Whereas all my other ones are on my legs, so I can see them quite easily. How many stars do I have? 1, 2, 3. So I've got the right amount of stars, although mine aren't so evenly spaced. These are quite evenly spaced around the outside, but mine are kind of more grouped up. I forgot his eyelashes. I forgot his whiskers. I forgot his tongue. I don't know. Oh yeah, no. That bit's meant to be pink. That bit's meant to be orange. And he's got a bit more of a defined chin. This looks kind of... I don't really know what it looks like. His teeth are alright though. Not mad about that. He has got orange in his ears. Well done me. And the stars are orange and green and like pink and yellow. So, I don't know. I feel pretty proud of those stars. I know they're not quite in that positioning. You know what? I'd say if I drew this, no, you probably wouldn't recognise it. My actual tattoo has more like fur around here and it's more orange, but if I drew that and stood next to it, you would know which tattoo I was referring to. So that's something, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed that strange little drawing activity. Here is my little setup that I was using. As you can see, very professional. It was actually really fun. I didn't do as bad as I thought I was going to do. Maybe it's because I moisturise my tattoos like every single day. I'm really like pernickety about it. So maybe that gave me some kind of head start. I don't really know what the word I'm looking for is. So advantage in this thing. And also I don't really have that many. So like if I had loads more, it'd probably be harder to remember them. But this is really fun to do. I'd definitely like to do it again once I've got a few more. I've got another one booked in July, and I'll leave you to try and guess what it is down in the comments. But I promise you this time it's not a cat. Sort of got pumpkins and bats included in it, but I'll leave that down to you because this one is different to what you'd think. It's a little bit more creative, let's say. So I'll leave that down to you. As I said, I'll leave the original Treacle Tatts video down in the description below. So please check that out. She's so funny, and her drawings were so funny to watch. If any of you guys would like to give this a go, I'd love to watch your ones. So definitely do let me know down in the comments if you're planning to do this, or if you'd like to do this, or if you have been super organised and already done this. So thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If it's sunny where you are, I hope you're enjoying the shade, and I'll see you next time. Bye! And also, if you're wondering what's going on behind me, I've used my bed as a wardrobe. So yeah, that's it.